Welcome to The Hub, sponsored by Manpower Richmond. I am your host, Michael Allen, and on The Hub, we interview local business leaders, community partners, and various special guests. And we want to share unique and untold stories of companies and organizations and people who are making a difference in our community. Listeners, if you know of anyone looking for employment, check out our jobs at mprichmond.com, or you can send a resume to resume@mprichmond.com. In addition to temp to hire employment, we also have direct hire opportunities. So enough of that. Hey, I want to welcome Cathy Hillard from Smiley's Pub. Hello, welcome to The Hub.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So wonderful for you to be here today. So a tradition I'm trying to start here with The Hub is the first thing I want to talk to you about is tell us about your first job, your very first job that you ever had, where you kind of got like a paycheck, you know.
My first job, I was 15 and I worked for a local chicken place, Famous Recipe, and that was my very first job.
So what did you do? What was your duties there?
Packed orders. That was my main duty at 15. So.
Mm-hmm. So did you enjoy it? Was it fun or a good learning experience?
It was a great learning experience, yes.
Good. Well, they're definitely still around and they're doing well. Maybe, hopefully, you kind of helped them along the way with your participation there. So, Cathy, did you grow up from Are you a Richmondite? Are you from Richmond? Or can you tell me about
I grew up in Richmond. I was born in Chicago, and we moved here when I was younger. But I've been here the rest of my time. So, yes.
So, how old were you when you came?
I was 2.
2 years old. Mm-hmm. So, not a lot of memories of Chicago.
No.
So,
no.
Basically from Richmond. So, tell me, I ask about your first job, but tell me a little bit about your career history, what you've done up to this point in your life.
Well, I went to school to be a licensed manicurist, and I've done that for 25 years. And in the meantime, we had several rental properties and purchased our first bar approximately 15 years ago.
And that was Birdie's Music Bar?
Correct.
Did I get the name right?
Yes.
So what made you decide to get into that kind of business?
My crazy husband.
What was appealing? Did you like doing it? You're obviously into it still with Smiley's, but you currently don't own Birdie's anymore.
No, we sold it. At the time, the market was going with the rentals, and so we sold them, and we needed to reinvest some money. Mm-hmm. His idea was a bar, but we took it and ran with it, mm-hmm. and built it up and sold it.
Yeah. And where did Smiley's come along in that process? You still had Birdie's?
Yes, we still had Birdie's, and we needed to expand, and we purchased Smiley's about 5 years ago.
Okay. And so I'm going to jump back a little bit. So you were a manicurist for like over 20 years, right?
Yes.
And you're not doing that. You're not doing that anymore.
No.
Okay.
No.
So I bet you met all kinds of people in the community doing that.
I have. I've met some wonderful people. I've had a lot of great mentors along the way too.
And these mentors are people that you just came in contact through the manicuring, or just maybe something else that you did?
Jobs. Joyce Thornburg's Grocery was an amazing opportunity for me, and she taught me a lot. And some other local, Mary Hoppy was great to me. Business owners in town, they were super directional with me. They really helped on, helping me understand business.
Sure. What kind of things did they kind of, talk to you about that kind of helped you along that? Specific things that you guys would discuss?
Joyce taught me everything about food, from produce to meat. She taught me everything. Mm-hmm. And that has helped me grow to where I am today with catering and the restaurant.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about the catering a little little bit more. So, what was appealing to purchase Smiley's?
We really needed to expand. We had grown out of Birdie's. We had purchased another building next door and joined those together, and we had just grown out of it. And Smiley's is 5 buildings, and it was much larger, and it was a new opportunity, and it needed to grow.
I mean, if you're from Richmond or you grew up in this area, you know about Smiley's Pub. I mean, it's been around for a long time. Do you know much about the history of Smiley's? I mean, how far it goes back?
Yes, originally it was one building, and it was called Bar 39 when Smiley purchased it. That was his nickname. His name is Harold Rankin, and it was just called Bar 39, which is that address, 39.
Okay.
So, and then he just kept expanding and adding buildings on.
Mm-hmm. And do you happen to know kind of when that opened up? I mean, what kind of the timeline that?
I'm guessing in
maybe?
the 70s.
70s, maybe.
Yes.
So, we're talking about a local pub that's been around for about 50 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So, after you and your husband, Terry, purchased Smiley's, you kind of made some changes to it, though, right?
Right away, yes. We went in and put all new equipment in the kitchen, and we went non-smoking because it was a smoking establishment.
Yeah, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. Neither of us smoke, so it was definitely a big change for us because Birdie's was smoking, but it's great. And we wanted to allow families to come in and enjoy dining, but yet still people could come in after work and relax and have a cocktail.
Right. So kind of, and then I think you've really expanded the food quite a bit. I mean, I don't remember going. I mean, really, I started going to Smiley's after the smoking went away, so that was big for me.
Yes.
And then you kind of expanded your food line, and I've enjoyed going down there and having meals and hanging out with friends, and so was a draw for me at least.
Yes, COVID hit, and when we first purchased Smiley's, there was a bulldozer at our front door for a year, and they were doing road construction, and I thought we just got through that, and then COVID hit.
Right.
And I'll never forget going home and sitting down with my laptop going, oh my gosh, I just got through the bulldozer. It's finally gone. We're finally able to get people in the front door. And now we have to close. So I came up with a menu of boxed lunches, meals, and I sent those out, emailed to every human resource manager of every manufacturer that I have done business with, and that spread rapidly.
So did that kind of help expand your catering, or was catering born out of that, or were you already doing it?
It expanded it. I wasn't into it as much as what I was into, just getting Smiley's built up and from what it was, and it just all kind of when it fell into place.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've done some kind of cool things. I know a few times you just sent some stuff to our office. Yeah. And, we weren't, I'd say, really big clients, but that definitely grew, my staff's interest in Smiley's. And so I think, we have several people who are pretty regulars at this point. So those are smart. That was a smart idea. Is that just something you thought of, or something that?
Well, being new to this area, Birdie's was a few blocks away. I wanted everyone to know, it's new owners. Mm-hmm. Things are changing. We're expanding our menu, and for a chance to people to come in and see what we're all about. And food is always wins everybody's heart.
Yeah, definitely. So this might be a tough question, but I mean, kind of is there a big item that's super popular down at Smiley's, food item that's kind of a leader that people order a lot or they like, or is it kind of across the board?
It's across the board, honestly. I have looked at my POS on the top sellers, but it really is across the board.
Mm-hmm. it's not just one thing. It's just a different combination of whatever.
Yes.
Everybody hits somebody that.
And at different times, our lunch is a lot of salads, but then in the evening it's, dinner and appetizers.
So you have was the back patio there when you came there?
Yes, we do have a beer garden.
Okay.
Yes.
Was that there, or
Yes.
did you just kind of maybe improve it a little bit?
I did improve it.
And you have music. How often do you have live music?
So we have live music every Thursday and Friday night.
Okay. It seems like more than that, but if I ever down there, maybe a Thursday when I've had the. So who are some of the people that you have come down there and play?
We have Scott Ross, Brian Benedict, Vintage 3 Band, Jeff Rearick.
And if we forgot somebody,
Mike and Dudley.
Because I just hit her with this question. So, looking forward, what are some of your plans? Do you have any different plans for Smiley's, or just kind of where do you see yourself going with Smiley's now?
Well, we've added a bourbon selection, a really nice bourbon selection, and that has brought a lot of people in. There are a lot of bourbon drinkers around. We get a lot of people from Ohio that
Really?
have heard about it.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we had a couple they actually own a bar in Ohio, and they came over because they heard about it and they were impressed. So just keep adding unique things to it. I want people to come and relax and enjoy it and go, wow, this is really a neat place to
I
come.
haven't really got into the bourbons yet. Maybe I'm just not trying hard enough. You think it's kind of an acquired thing?
Yes.
It's definitely isn't it a growing popular drink?
It is. We have a bourbon tasting this weekend, Friday, and it is very popular.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about your catering.
So we have grown significantly, and our kitchen is not that big. Mm-hmm. So we recently purchased 2 more buildings downtown Richmond that has a full kitchen in it for catering, and I am opening downtown deli and catering company.
Nice. So what's the business plan for that?
Well, my business plan is I don't want to leave 2 empty storefronts, and I really just need the kitchen, but I am going to, since I cater so much every day to many of the factories and local businesses, I'm going to do a grab-and-go cooler, have fresh salads, hummus cups, fruit cups. We'll have breakfast, coffee.
So will you be able to go there and have breakfast?
You can go there and have breakfast. It just won't be table service. We'll have tables, but you can go up and order at the counter, and then we'll bring it out to you. But I find that interesting. I think there's not a lot of breakfast options in our community. There's some good places, but definitely we could use some more options. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So, where do you see things going? And like if someone says, "Hey, where do you see things going in the next 5 years?" Have you kind of thought that far, or just trying to get through this project?
Well, I always think 5 years ahead. I'd just expand the businesses that we have and hopefully buy some more commercial real estate. I really am looking forward to downtown growing even more and being profitable for everyone.
Well, that kind of segues me into a little bit of discussion about, downtown Richmond. My office is, I think, located in downtown. We're on 5th and Main. We're kind of at I don't know if we're at the head or the toe of downtown.
I would say you're the head of downtown.
Of it. So that's good. We want a vibrant downtown. So what do you think are some of the best parts or best potential parts of our downtown area? Start there.
We have a beautiful park. Elstro Park is beautiful. the history down here, we have a lot of historical buildings that are really neat. Actually, we're in one right now. Mm-hmm. And I think some of them just need a little TLC, but we're on our way with that.
What do you see the challenges? I mean, because it seems like to me that it's been going on a while. You know, different initiatives, plans, different. I won't put it totally on the mayor, but you have different mayors, and they've all. Sometimes some have been more involved, others not so much. But you know, it just seems like it still stalls. It's still, but maybe there's more progress than I'm aware of. I know you're involved. You're trying to become, very involved in the downtown area. Maybe you could even talk about how you're involved.
Well, it's not moving as fast as I would like. Mm-hmm. We live in a world where everything is instant, I feel like, and I would love for it to turn around instantly. I think it will eventually, with more people being involved and pushing. I really, traveling around, I travel when I can, and there is so much potential here that we can do. The road construction hasn't helped, but once it's finished, I think it will be easier for people to be accessible down here.
Right. Hopefully there's not any other plans to tear things up in that main, I guess we'd say like 5th Street to 10th or 11th, that stretch. I mean, that's the part we're talking about.
It's been going on for 5 years because, like I said, I had a bulldozer at my front door at Smiley's when we first purchased it.
I mean, that's just a challenge. If you're wanting to invest in that property or into a business, I mean, you want to have a full potential of people to be able to have access to your business.
Yes.
And that's not been the case.
And I think that's one of the draws on new businesses coming to town right now, is the construction.
Yes. Do you think there's potential for retail businesses to be there, or do you think it's going to look different than retail?
Oh, no, I think definitely retail will come. We need more housing, and the more people we get down here, the more retail we will see.
Right. I mean, I've been encouraged. I don't think there's anything signed, sealed, and delivered, but I do like the idea of some housing going in this area, because you're bringing in a whole market of clients that could have easy access to the businesses down here, and they just could walk, and they don't have to walk very far at all.
No, they don't. And that is the housing, with the Elder Beerman project, hopefully that will go through, and to bring that housing down here, you will see a flock of businesses want to come down here, because people will, in bigger cities. I'm from Chicago. I go there. I love it. People walk. There's, they live upstairs. There's a grocery store right downstairs. They don't have to go far, across the street to grab dinner. Mm-hmm. It's not far. So they're used to that. Most of them don't have vehicles.
Are you, you're involved in the Main Street
organization?
Yes. So tell us a little bit about that organization. Maybe give a plug.
We're really working. Our executive director, Beth Newton, is working really hard to bring in businesses and, work with the local businesses that are already here on, things that they might need to help, if their road was closed due to construction or whatever.
Yes.
And she's doing a great job at that, and being a good, sound person between, the city and her, as far as communicating to let us know what exactly is going on.
Right. Any other feelings about opinions about the downtown area, things you'd like to see?
I would just like to see more people active downtown. There's a lot to offer down here, and I would like to see more people come down here and see what it's all about.
Right. Well, hopefully we can get the construction signs and the barriers and do the finishing part of this, and things can open up, and it would be encouraging to people to want to invest in other businesses like you have with this catering business. And we really wish you the best of luck with that. I think it's going to be a good thing for our downtown area and for our community. So appreciate the investment that you're making and the passion that you have for our community, especially the downtown area. So thank you for that. Any last parting words or anything that you want to comment on before we kind of wrap this up?
Well, I appreciate you having me on here, and I appreciate what you do for our downtown and our community. Your building is always in perfect shape. I walk by it, and it's like the grass is like carpet. Let me tell you, it's great. It's great to see somebody take that pride.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
And help make downtown beautiful.
Great. Well, I appreciate those comments. Well, Cathy, thank you for joining us on the Hub today.
Thank you.
And for taking the time and visiting with us. Those who are tuning in, you can catch us on YouTube and all the other podcast platforms. So please pass the word, and thank you for listening today.